Welcome back to 2 Pints of Rory, episode 29. Now, today, I understand from the comments I've been raided. My guest is obviously Andrew Tate, and we're going to touch on some old times and go through things with you people. How was everyone today? How did you guys enjoy the EM? What do you think about the bridge? What do you think about the Russian attacks? You know, we could touch on that, but I mean, we've already gone through. So let's wait. I think Andrew's coming through right now. Now, obviously, a lot of you people know that Andrew can't drink. He can't drink alcohol. So, I've mixed it up a bit for him, and we're going to embark on old times. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys what we've got in store for Andrew, because, yeah, we'll see. I thought it was a surprise. You know, to be honest, we have to mix it up a bit. There's no apple juice, no. In fact, I might have a drink after what I've got in store. So yeah, let's see what's going on. Can anyone guess where I am? I'm sure you guys know this room. We're just waiting for the viewers to come up. All I'm hearing is excuse. I can't... Look, Andrew can't drink, guys. Shit, he's on his way. Okay, he's on his way. Rory, you got a surprise. Oh my God. Rory, have you seen Luton recently? Such a shit town. Now, this is something that I plan to cover on tonight's episode. So, yeah, we will go through that as soon as... Oh, you're fucked, Rory. Oh, no. Oh, no. Raid time. Rory, fuck you. Oh, no. Tate Bros incoming. Tristan has the blade. Oh, shit. All right. So this might just be the first live stream killing that we've ever seen. You know? And if it's time to go, it's time to go. You know, I can't live my life in fear. Am I fasting with Andrew? I'm actually eating once a day. Yeah, so I am actually kind of, you could say fasting, right? So, yeah. Fuck, you're getting raided, Rory. Oh my God. Okay. Why is everyone posting knives? Why is everyone posting knives? Rory, Domino's or Jerry's? Well, it's got to be Domino's. So, not yet. It's got to be Domino's. How am I going to choose Jerry's over Domino's? They've done my boy dirty. Even though the whole thing was nothing to do with pizza in the first place. Where are they? Swords, they will burn you with cigars. I'm watching from Luton. Come on. If this raid's going to happen, it needs to happen already. I'm watching the CCTV like I'm... literally... shit! Here he is.
Hello, old friend.
Hello, old friend. How are you?
I'm good.
Thanks. Take a seat.
So how do raids work? I'm not going to pretend I know what's going on.
Have you ever done a raid before?
Nope. First one ever. So are people joining this chat?
Yeah, so there's people joining the chat now. So... yeah.
Where's my fucking chair?
Sorry. Me and Andrew had to embark on old times, so we got doner meat and chips because you had a little salad earlier, right?
Yeah,
so
grab a chair, old friend.
Yeah.
Come sit down, old friend.
How about I just leave?
We're just three old friends.
No. Come
sit down, old friend.
Tristan. Come. So guys, Andrew can't drink, so we mixed it up, and when we had no money, we used to treat ourselves to doner meat and chips with chili sauce, garlic mayo, boom. So we're gonna have our dinner.
Let me get this straight. No doner meat and chips for me, and no chair for me.
Tristan,
let me tell you something.
Fuck you both. Enjoy your fucking stream. I'm out. I'm anti-rating. I'm rating out. Fuck you guys.
Bye, Tristan.
bye, old friend.
It's delicious.
It's like the good old days.
You know? Just like the good old days. So
let's talk about how much we hate Tristan.
yeah, what's his problem?
You know the thing is, Tristan, ever since he got discovered as the unicorn man, he just hasn't been the same.
Do you think that's his problem? Or do you think his problem is that he's only eating salad at the minute and he's jealous of our doner meat and chips?
100% jealous.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to ask you some questions, Rory.
Why? What are you going to ask me?
I'm going to ask you because I just did an emergency meeting talking about how you have to get out of the matrix and get out of the ghetto and try and become free. And then I realized I haven't been back to the ghetto in quite a long time. Whereas you have.
Yeah.
Because you're not currently trapped in a country because you were accused of sexual crimes. Yet.
Well.
Yet.
I mean.
So my question for you is, how has Luton changed since we lived there? What's it like now? What am I missing out on?
Okay, so first of all, I want to start by saying, obviously you don't drink no more, right? But when we were younger, we obviously used to go out all the time. We used to visit all the clubs and pubs. We used to know everyone. Now there's none of that left. None of that left at all. What there is, though, is there are more crackheads than ever before. And when I say crackheads, they're not even the type that beg on the street anymore. They're the type who are approaching your cars and banging the window in traffic for money.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the drug problem's gotten worse, and there's no social life and no little hotties.
No, there's none of that no more.
Luton used to have little hotties. They used to have a bunch of little girls who were out. Remember? Like in little gangs, gaggles.
Gaggle, yeah, there was always gaggles of girls out on Thursdays. It wasn't even a weekend thing. It was like Wednesdays and Thursdays. They had allocated nights for Liquid, Envy, Chicago's, Amigos.
So what does a poor person do for fun now? Crack?
Yeah,
Bro.
yeah.
So the life for the poor man, when we were poor, you could still go out with 20 pounds in your pocket, find a girl, go party, have some kind of social life. You could have some kind of fun. But you're saying now, if you're not rich, there's literally nothing worth doing with your life.
Not really, not in Luton anyway. If you're going to do anything, you have to go into London, and even then you're in fear of being stabbed. But
a poor person can't afford to go to London.
then they better stay at home.
So what do people in Luton do? Please, I haven't been to Luton in years. I'm missing out. Tell me about the action. Something must be happening. Or is it literally just crackheads?
It's just bro. It's crackheads, and there's maybe one or two restaurants that might be worth visiting on the outskirts, but other than that, there's nothing going on. And it's not even like you have the weather. It's fucking dull all year round, bro. Like you might get a month in the summer, I think, where it's like 30 degrees, but there's nothing going on. Like I don't know. All the pubs are closing down as well.
So if you're stuck in the Matrix, it's more dire than ever before,
bro. It's only getting worse. Crime rates are rising. More people are getting stabbed. Like, there's gun crime now. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not even, like, it's getting barbaric. That's the word I'll use. It's becoming barbaric now. So, yeah, it's fucking nuts, bro.
Do I miss Luton?
I don't know. Tell me, listen, I think I need to ask you some questions about Luton, bro.
Let's do it.
So, you moved to Luton when?
When I was 10. So, around 1997.
Okay. You went to high school where?
Luton.
Lee Manor.
That's right.
And that's right in the middle of Marsh Farm, right?
Yep.
So that, when I was growing up, was known as like the roughest school.
It was pretty rough.
It was the roughest school that I knew of.
Yep.
So, let me ask you. So, what age did you decide that you were kind of going to become a fighter?
Well, I think if you have a functioning brain, even if you're only 15, you can understand that the system is a lie. I was sitting in school, in this terrible school, and the teachers were telling me, yeah, this is a terrible school, and yeah, nobody cares about the classes, nobody cares about the grades, but don't worry, if you work really hard and you do really well, you'll get to be rich. And then I looked at my teacher and realized they weren't rich. And then I looked around me and didn't see any rich people. And when I finally found someone who was remotely rich, I said, hi, did you get rich from school? And they all said no. So I thought, well, this is bollocks. This is a lie. This is a scam. At the age of 15, I understood it was all a lie. I saw something on Twitter the other day. I saw some person, some girl in America, and she had her stupid graduation cap on. The thing they do in America.
Yeah, the little...
Yeah, and she's like, yay, I graduated. I'm like, bro, you're a full-grown adult and you believe in graduations? You believe in education? You believe in this college system as a full-grown adult? That proves to me you're a dummy. That doesn't prove you're smart. That proves you don't know how the fucking world works. So I knew it was bullshit. So I thought, well, how can I get out of here? I don't know. I was filled with anger because I didn't have everything I wanted in life. And instead of directing it in a negative direction, I decided to direct it in a positive direction. So I decided to kick the shit out of people.
So you didn't decide to go and deal drugs and stab people and commit crime. Instead, you decided that you were going to go to the gym, fight, and actually make something of yourself that way.
Exactly. Which is, I think, everybody who's inside the Matrix should be very frustrated. You should be angry that you don't have the life you want. And you should take all that anger and put it in a very positive direction. Because anger, society's trying to train anger out of men. Mm-hmm. They're telling you not to be angry. It's bad to be angry. Let me explain something to you. If you're a normal dude and your girlfriend is busted, if you have one at all, you can't pay your bills, your job sucks, society hates you, you're not allowed an opinion, nobody respects you, you're unimportant, you don't matter, you should be angry. I'd be angry in that scenario. That's an infuriating situation to be in.
Yeah, the whole curriculum's a lie.
It's all bullshit. The news is a lie. The system's set up for you to fail. If you do get a girl, eventually she's going to leave you and take your kids and divorce you and take all your money. You should be very angry. They tell you not to be angry so you don't do anything about it because they want you to be a wage slave and they want you to pay taxes. You should be angry and you should take all of that anger and direct it towards positive things. Training in the gym, getting as rich as possible. Listen, anger is a fantastic motivator. If you're angry, you won't sleep. Good. Don't sleep. Stay up. Train hard. Work hard. Get rich. Get strong. So you can get out of that scenario. Mm-hmm. They tell you not to be angry because they want you to stay there so you stay a good slave to them.
Yeah.
I was angry because I understood how the system worked, but I was cerebral enough to take that anger and direct it in a positive direction. Water can destroy a town if it's uncontrolled. Tsunamis are very dangerous, but if the water is controlled, it powers a town via the dam. put it in a positive direction, and amazing things can be done. So I don't believe in this garbage that men shouldn't be angry. If I was a man growing up inside the Matrix in the UK today, I'd be very angry. Yeah. My country has betrayed me. The borders are wide open. If you don't pay taxes and you don't respect the law and you turn up undocumented, you get more from the government than you get if you're a law-abiding citizen. Everything on the news is a fucking lie. I'd be furious, but I would use that anger to make sure that I got out. That's the important thing.
Yeah. See, I started fighting because I couldn't stop fighting in the local pubs and the parks. So I had to, or otherwise I was going to go to jail.
I remember that about you, Rory.
You do, don't you?
Do people know the story of how we met?
I think a few do, but let's tell it again. So how did we meet, Andrew?
I think the very short version of it is there was a girl who I knew. We won't say names. And you were her boyfriend at the time.
Correct.
And me and her had some kind of beef.
Correct.
And she said, you keep calling me a slut around the city. My boyfriend Rory's going to kick the fuck out of you. And I said, well, I don't know who Rory is, but I'm not afraid of anybody. And you are a slut. And then we went to the pub one night in Luton, like we said. And I went to the night out and you were there. And I thought we were going to have to fight. And you come up to me and said, you say my girl's a slut? And I said, yeah. And you're like, well, she probably is. And then we shook hands. And we've been friends ever since.
And it turns out we were fucking right.
She's a hoe.
We were right.
So yeah, from the second you said that, I was like, this guy's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
He can tell she's a hoe and he doesn't care.
But you also messaged me on Bebo, bro.
Was it Bebo?
Bebo, bruv. Bebo. Some of these viewers ain't even gonna know what Bebo is. And you said, heard you can fight. And you picked me up from my house at about 8 o'clock in Farley Hill, where I was living with my auntie because I was kicked out of my mum and dad's house. Nice. And you brought me, we went to David Lloyd's, which is like a family gym. And we went in one of the studios and you kicked the fuck out of me. And then we became friends on that's when we started talking more. Yeah. And then you brought me to your flat and that's where I met Tristan.
Mm. The good old days.
The good old days, bruv. The good old days.
1 second. I've got a visitor. I'll be back in a second.
There's a visitor?
Oh, wait, no. Visitor is sorted.
Okay, cool.
Handled.
Yeah.
We've got cameras everywhere so we can see when the police come to visit.
Shoot on site. Yeah. Shoot on site.
So yeah, we understood for a very long time that everything's a scam, everything's a setup. And we knew that we had to find a way out. And that's what I find amazing about people in the world today. They're sitting there going, oh yeah, maybe it's not all a scam, maybe it's not all a setup. And that maybe somehow the system cares about you and you're going to be afforded a way out if you follow their rules. Their rules are designed to make you a slave and nothing else.
Bro, it took me so long to realize it was all a trap as well when I was growing up. Because when you're actually involved in it, it's fucking long. Shit. Who's coming?
I need a piss.
He needs a manly yellow piss from the fire blood. Yeah. So guys, let me explain while Andrew's gone for a piss. So yeah. Then we started training together. And then we went to Storm Gym. And I want to touch on that because Big Money Nick in the chat, nice to see you. I want to touch on that because I want to know more about when Andrew met Amir, how he met Amir, and talk more about, you know, his fight and stuff. So we're going to cover that as well. So guys, what do you guys think about the UK curriculum or the curriculum of schools in general? That's what I want to hear. Did I ever compete in kickboxing? I'm going to tell you the truth. I was actually rubbish at kickboxing. And I'll tell you why. It's because I was already boxing. So I already had my stance. So when I ever tried to change my stance, I couldn't match. So kickboxing's a lot more, you know, like the stance is a lot more straight on. So yeah, it was difficult for me. So I did struggle. Yeah. School's bullshit. Brainwashing's bullshit. School system's always been, yeah, it's always been shit. You're right. Andrew, so we're going to talk more about this. Fueling the anger. Cool. So you went to Storm Gym, bruv.
Yeah.
How did you meet Amir and come around to Storm Gym rather than any other gym?
I had Fight Club. Do you remember Fight Club?
Yeah, I remember Fight Club.
So I was working as an IT technician in Lee Manor High School. So I finished school. Then I go to college, finished college, realized it's all bullshit. I got offered a job being an IT tech, fixing laptops and computers in Lee Manor High School. I thought that sounds like a job where I can do basically no work. I can just scam. If you're going to pay me a shit wage and it's the same every month, I'm going to do a shit job.
Right.
And it's the same every month.
Yeah.
So I did the bare minimum because there was no possible progression.
It's monotonous.
It's monotonous. It's bullshit. So I was doing nothing. Yeah. Anyway, me being me, at the time I'm 18, I start fucking the head girl.
So hold on. So you were 18.
And she was 16.
16. Cool.
So
completely illegal.
So I'm sleeping with the head girl, and then the school finds out and says to me, "You can't do that. You're a staff, and she's a student." I'm like, "Bro, most of these 16-year-old girls are banging 25-year-olds. I'm only 18."
Yeah.
They're like, "No, she's a staff. You're a student. You have to leave." I said, "Well, if you try and fire me, I'll file for unfair dismissal." And they said, "No, we'll pay you to the end of your contract, but we won't renew your contract." So they gave me 4 months' wages, and I bought a GSXR Superbike, 600.
I remember it.
Had no number plate on the back. Used to run from the cops. Race
Nice.
around.
Nice.
Nice. And then I decided to start Fight Club because there was a big African guy. He was huge. He was like 6'6". What was his name? Some huge African guy said he could beat me in a fight. And I said, "Let's fight then." And I thought, this is actually a good idea. Because everyone around town knew I was a fighter and I was hard. So I rented a sports hall in Lee Manor, got MMA gloves, bought some mats, and we had Fight Club on Wednesday nights where anyone could turn up and we'd just fight.
Nice.
1 5-minute round. And I fought that guy, and I did beat him, but I didn't knock him out, and I was really disappointed. Like, I won the fight, but it was really messy, and we were both completely gassed by the end of it. And then a bunch of other guys came, and I knocked them all out, but I couldn't beat this really big guy, and it annoyed me. So I typed in "no rules fighting" into Google, and Storm Gym came up. So I went to Storm Gym.
Wait, you typed "no rules fighting."
No rules
and it come up
fighting.
with Storm.
No rules fighting Luton. I typed in, and Storm Gym came up. Kickboxing, boxing, MMA, Budokai. I went on their website, and I went down there, and I remember going there on the first day I went. There was a sparring session. I got knocked the fuck out by Amir himself.
So Amir actually knocked you out the first
Sparked
time.
me.
Really?
Sparked cold.
Bro, to think Amir is fucking solid, bro.
Yeah, he said, "Can you fight?" I was like, "Yeah." So I got sparked. Kicked me in the head, knocked me out. And then I guess he expected me to never come back, but I got up, and I came back, and I kept coming. And he said, "You just won't quit." I said, "No, I won't." And then I had my first fight 6 months later, and from there, it all grew into a long career in kickboxing, MMA, Thai boxing, everything. I've done it all.
Wow. And that's how you become a 4-time world champion under
So I
Amir.
became a 4-time world champion, and I decided, my basic premise was, I didn't want to live in capitalism if I couldn't win capitalism. I said to Tristan, "Look, let's get really good at fighting and move to Thailand. Because we can live on $50 a day, $20 a day, $10 a day. Live on the beach, good nature, good food, train all the time, a nice, simple life. No care about politics, no care about an expensive car, expensive watch. We don't need any of that." I literally said to my brother, if I can't afford a Lambo, I don't want to live in the West. What's the point in living in a capitalist society if you're not winning the game? And that's what we agreed. So we started training.
But you didn't have a bad car, bro.
No, then we started making money.
Right.
And then we won the capitalist game. Now I'm sitting here with my huge fat diamond watch. And talking about a Lambo, I have 63 supercars from Bugatti, Koenigsegg, the whole way down. I think I have like 6 Lambos now. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
I've won the capitalist game. But I understood that living in a capitalist society and not winning the game is the worst torture you can possibly endure. And that's why anyone who's watching this who's still in the Western world, you can either give up and quit and go to Thailand and live on the beach. Although I don't think that's as attractive as it used to be.
Funny you said that. Big Money Nick just in the chat said, "Me and the bros were in Thailand."
Big Money Nick!
Yeah.
So, yeah, like you could give up on everything and go live over there. I don't actually think that's as applicable as it used to be. I don't think even Thailand's that cheap anymore. But if you're going to live in the Western world, you're playing in a capitalist game. It's all a game, and a lot of people pretend it's not a game or pretend they're not playing it so they feel better about losing. But truthfully, it's a scoreboard, and every single day you have to rack up the amount of money you've made and rank yourself somewhere on the scoreboard. And higher you are on that scoreboard means you're going to have more important friends, you're going to have more beautiful women, you're going to have a better lifestyle, more freedom. And it's only when you get too far, like Icarus, like we've done.
Yeah.
Our life was fine 2 years ago. We got too big, too rich. Then you get into the top 10 or top 20, and then you get attacked by the legal system. But for most of the people at home, you don't want to get into the top 10, top 20. If you're top 50, you'll be okay, and you'll live a very, very good life.
They took all your cars?
They took... Yeah, you're right.
And then you bought more?
No. I don't have any cars.
You don't own any cars?
No, I don't.
But you have loads of supercars on the...
Yeah, they're not mine.
Uno reverse. Uno fucking reverse.
Nice. So yeah, they took everything, because if you get too big, that's what happens. But I knew that was going to come eventually, but I realized I had a platform and I could awaken people to the truth of how this world works. So I decided to do exactly that, because I think that's a purpose is what makes you feel truly rich. Money doesn't make you feel rich, and cars don't make you feel rich. What makes you feel rich in life is having a purpose and waking up every day with something to do. And my purpose is to awaken people to the Satanists and the sick agenda, which is in charge of this world. And I feel like we're in the middle of a great awakening. I feel like 2024 is going to be the year where most people, even the normies, start to finally accept that everyone who has power in this world so far has sold their souls to the devil, and they're actually working for Satan.
So, if you were to give advice to someone from Luton now, who's 16, at that age where they can fight, what advice would you give them to get out of Luton?
Well, I think that initially fighting is always the best thing you can ever do. Especially it's the best way to spend your 20s because you heal superhumanly. You heal like Wolverine. And I can't think of a better use of that superhuman healing ability besides fighting. And it's going to teach you everything you need to know about personal accountability and hard work and overcoming fear and dedication and discipline. There's so many lessons to be found inside of fighting. And plus, it's the most respected sport on the planet. Why would you get good at putting a ball in the net when you can get good at kicking the fuck out of people? True. So, I mean, you get paid more for putting a ball in the net if you get it to the tip top. That's true.
But the chances of getting there are absolutely very slim.
And I think that you'll learn more about yourself and more about life and more about the realities of how the world works if you're a fighter. So I think that's what's so fantastic about it. All of my wisdom and all the things I say doesn't come from books. It comes from life experience. And a lot of my life experience is the brutal realities of violence. So people say, oh, Andrew's so smart, Andrew's so wise, Andrew knows so many things. I've learned all of that simply through fighting. And if you're a warrior in life, the arena may change, but the battle never ends. I've stopped professionally fighting. Now I'm fighting against the Matrix. I'm sure when this court case is over, something else will appear. It's just never ending. And you have to get used to fighting. You have to get used to being under pressure and under stress all the time and being the kind of person who can perform and smile anyway. Look at Trump. Trump's under constant and endless court cases and pressure. He doesn't care.
It's gone crazy. And he doesn't give a fuck, does he?
You have to just be that guy who's like, okay, life's war, so let's go to war. If you're the kind of person who avoids war, you're never going to be successful. Success is war, and you're going to have to get used to it and get ready for it. Since the dawn of human time, every king who had an empire was at war. You're defending your empire, someone's trying to take it from you. So you have a choice. You can either be a king with an empire and you can try and defend it and be at constant war, or you could not be a king, not have an empire, live inside of someone else's and pray they don't decide to decimate you. And that's it. So you have no choice. This idea you can avoid conflict and avoid war and avoid struggle and avoid stress and avoid court and avoid lawyers and avoid jail, all of that's fallacy. I knew I was going to eventually end up in jail just because I'm so successful and I'm so fucking brilliant.
Bro, you called that years ago.
I called it. I said,
years ago.
I'm doing too well. I'm too amazing. There's no way they're going to not let me. They're not going to put me in a cell.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So, but I've never been a coward. I'm not afraid of it.
I know. And what I was going to say is nothing teaches you more about yourself than getting fucking punched in the face, bro.
100%.
Nothing more because,
Everyone's a tough guy. Oh, I never give up. Okay, go fight then.
Yeah.
Oh, it turns out you do give up.
I thought I was hard until I went to Storm Gym.
Yeah, everyone does.
And that was the truth. Like, I was fighting in pubs. I was fighting in the pubs every fucking weekend thinking I was He-Man. Got to Storm Gym, I got the shit kicked out of me. Yep. And then that's when I thought, you know what? Hold on a minute. You're fuck all, mate. Yep. And that's genuinely when I realized a lot about myself. And I thought, you know what? I'm not fit. I'm not strong. Yep. I need to come here every fucking day and,
And train. And I'm glad I spent my 20s training because I can't think of something else. I find it amazing that, like, I speak to people my age and I say, in my 20s, I spent maybe, I don't know, let's say 3 hours a day. What's a decade at 3 hours a day? 3,650 days times 3 hours. Let's say 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
I spent 10,000 hours in the gym training. You're the same age as me. What did you do with those 10,000 hours? And they can't even tell me what they did. What did you do? Watch TV, go out, go pub, sit around, jerk off, sleep, nap, chase women, message girls on Instagram who don't give a fuck about you? What did you actually do? We had the same amount of waking hours and the same amount of minutes. I know where 10,000 hours of my minutes went, and that's why I'm the champ. That's why I have 4 title belts above my bed that every single woman looks at just before she climbs into it naked. That's why I can grab you by your neck right now and kick the fuck out of you. That's how I spent my 10,000 hours. Tell me what you did with your 10,000 hours, which is equal to, comparable to, or superior than how I spent my time. And they can't even name what they did with any of their time. They're like, dunno. I guess I just chilled out.
A lot of them down the pub after work.
Did fuck all. Wasted it.
Yeah.
So if you're 16, you need to be using every single waking minute towards things you're going to remember. You're going to remember training. You're going to remember working hard. You're going to remember trying to make money. You're going to remember going to war room events. You're going to remember focusing inside the real world. These are things you're going to remember. You're spending your life and wasting your time doing things you're not even going to be able to recollect in a few years. You're going to wonder why you fall behind the people who don't waste time. Time is the ultimate currency. Time is money. Time is also strength and power and networks, connection. Time is everything. You can convert it. It's like malleable. Time is like Play-Doh.
Yeah.
You can turn it into anything. You can turn it into muscles if you go to the gym. Turn it into money if you join the real world. Turn it into network if you join the war room. Turn it into fighting prowess if you go to the fight gym.
Right.
But people have all this time and they just mush around with it and jerk off.
Play Xbox.
And then they're like, don't know why I'm failing. I wish I was successful. Well, clearly you don't, dipshit.
Do you know what it is for me as well? I just believe, like, not everyone's going to be a world champion, right? Let's be realistic. but you have to learn how to fucking fight. Like they say, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. You have to learn how to fight.
I don't know how men even have personalities without that backup. Like, I'm not a violent person, but my entire personality is based on the fact that I can say what I want, and if they don't like it, I will fight them. Yeah. I'm not even saying I'll win.
Yeah.
But I will fight you.
Right.
I will fight you. So I will sit here and say what I believe because I will fight you. And that's enough to avoid 99.9% of fights. There's people out here as men who can't fight and won't fight. And then they have these, like, how do you even have an opinion? How do you even talk? How do you even go outside?
Yeah.
It's a dangerous world. How do you just go through life knowing that if somebody wants to hurt you, you're just going to let them?
Do you know what, though? I think the parents have a lot to blame for that, and I'll tell you why. There's a lot of parents who mollycoddle their kids and, teach them that it's wrong to fight and they shouldn't fight and blah, blah, blah.
Just call the police.
Right. Growing up, if I didn't have a fight and didn't stick up for myself, my dad would have went fucking mad.
100%.
And I think that all boils down to your upbringing as well, and to have the right drive and the right parenthood to tell you that you need to stick up for yourself, because otherwise you get walked all over in fucking life.
All you can rely on is yourself and your friends, because the police come afterwards and you're probably dead by then, especially if it's in England. That's not how the world works. And the world's a brutal place, and we're entering a cycle. We're entering a period of brutality in the cycle. The world is cyclical, and we all know the 4 stages of good times are created by strong men, and then the good times create weak men, and they create bad times. And we're now in the bad times that have been created by a bunch of weak men, and chaos is coming. It's going to get very difficult, and the hardship is going to make strong men again who will create good times. But the next couple generations are going to be living through very difficult periods, along with the fact that those in charge of the world are going to try and enslave us in some form of techno-communism. And you need to be brave and have your act together, both physically and mentally. You need to be prepared for all scenarios. And those scenarios are physical violence and confrontation. Those scenarios are standing up for what you believe in. Another one of those scenarios is jail. If you're a red-blooded male in the world today with an opinion, the chance of you going to jail is pretty high. It's like 30 to 40%. You have to be ready to get locked in that cell, because they're going to come and they're going to try and teach you a lesson until the Great Awakening comes and the revolution comes through. That's what's going to happen. So I'm ready for jail.
But that's why they've tried to shut you down, because you have influence over enough young men to start a revolution. And that is scary to them, because they want full control.
They think men waking up and trying hard to get rich and be strong is scary, because they want you to be weak little slaves. That's what they want. So they see me as a threat because I tell men to go to the gym and work hard. That is now an act of rebellion and resilience against these people, because their intentions for you are so dark and so heinous that they want you to be so weak you can do nothing about them. If their intentions for you were good, they wouldn't be afraid of you being strong, because they say, well, we want to do good things for him anyway, so it doesn't matter if he's strong. Because they know they want to do bad things to you, because they know the life they have laid out for you is so miserable and dire, they want you to be weak so you can't resist it. They only want you weak because they know their intention for you is a bad intention. That's why they're so desperate to keep you weak. That's why they put all this crap into MSM, like girls like fat guys. You shouldn't train so hard. It makes you toxically masculine. That's why they put things out like, we don't live in caveman days. You don't need to fight anymore. Just accept everything. Just roll over. Just be a pussy. It's going to be fine. The life we give you is going to be great. We all know it's just going to be eating the bugs with a QR code stamped on your forehead, afraid to talk and afraid to go anywhere in your 15-minute city with a fucking robot machine jerking your cock, watching Pornhub because any girl with a brain has chosen a warlord and joined a harem long ago, and you're left with fucking nothing but slim pickings.
We're going to touch on that because you started the war room. I remember when the war room was just an idea. Like, I remember when you started that, and that was to give men an opportunity, like, because we're in them last years where you can escape that shit. We're in them final years where you can escape that shit. So you started the war room, and you started that to get like-minded men to join you as like an army.
You need more brothers. You need more brothers. I had you, and I had Marcel, and I have Nigel, and the people I live with now, and Amir and Tristan. And I thought, what if there was 100 of us? What if there was 1,000 of us? What if the war room now has 4,000 members? What if there's 4,000 of us? You need more brothers, because that's what's going to allow you to resist. And this entire Matrix attack I've been through, the only reason I've survived it financially, especially, is because of the war room. If I didn't have the war room, I would have been crushed the way they intended to crush me.
So is that the same reason that you started the real world?
And the real world exists so that people can learn how to make money in a matrix-free environment, because COVID showed me that most people will comply if their paycheck's on the line. So that's the reason they got away with COVID. Everybody knew it was a lie, but they had to wear a mask to go to work. They had to get a vaccine to go to work. They had to feed their family. They had to pay their mortgage. So I thought, well, if we can get enough people to make money in a matrix-free environment, it'll be harder to enslave humanity. So now we have over 200,000 people making money in a way that the matrix cannot punish them or stop them from doing it if they do not comply. The thing is that's so interesting about the world today is that being a law-abiding citizen only leads to absolute slavery, tyranny, and misery. It's not like you can be a law-abiding citizen like you could in the 1960s and have a nice wife and have a nice house and have a few nice cars and be a good, happy person. Now, if you do everything they want you to do, you just end up a debt slave who wants to kill himself on antidepressants. That's what they want for you.
And it's not even like you can have a side hustle anymore. You know, back in the day, in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, people had side hustles. There was cash under the mattresses. There was, and they could use that cash to buy houses. They could use that cash to do whatever they want. Now, you can't use cash to do anything.
Nope.
If you spend over $5,000 cash, you've got fucking police knocking your door, right?
CBDCs are coming. We are at a stage now, there's about 3 years left, where if somebody were to watch this stream right now and wake up and go, you know what? These guys are telling the truth. Fuck it. Go to corporatetape.com, join the war room, join the real world. And 3 years from now, they'll get out just before the door slams shut. But by the time that door slams shut, 2028, 2030, around then, anyone who's not rich is going to stay poor forever. And their bloodline is going to stay poor forever.
I do believe that we're in Last Chance Saloon.
100%.
Like,
World's ending.
Yeah.
World's ending.
Yeah.
Because they've got AI now, and they're going to come along. The demons are going to use it to enslave humanity.
By the way, have you seen my tags, my new tags? TopG.com. If you haven't got your tag, go and get your tag. That's right. Honestly, they're sick. You got yours on? Yeah. Everyone's got their tags. So if you go to TopG.com, you can order your tags from there. Guys, get your tags today. What does it say on the tag?
It says the truth. It's what we were just talking about. It says, in the darkest hour, when the demons come, call on me, brother, and we will be there and fight them together.
Which is basically exactly what you were just saying, right?
That's how it works. I don't think many people understand how satanic this world is. Like, you look at the P. Diddy raid, which just happened, and everybody's like, oh, P. Diddy is a rapist. Cool.
Yeah.
No, all of the elites are involved in this shit. They openly hang around with Satanists and talk about how important it is to kill children. Like, it's very obvious to these people. They're just ostriches head in the sand trying to pretend none of it's real, because if they accept it's real, then they're going to be implored to act. A coward will ignore the scenario he's in because then he knows he has to do something about it. So it's easier to be an ostrich. If you see the danger and you acknowledge the danger, you're implored to act against the danger. Instead, they just say, there is no danger, so they can sit around jerking off. Because they just want to sit around and jerk off. They don't want to stand up and say, fuck, there is danger. Fuck, there's a problem. Fuck, I have to fix it. Fuck, I need to join the real world. Fuck, I need to work. Fuck, I need to get rich. Fuck, they don't want that stress and responsibility. So they just all just sit there and go, none of it's real. I'm just going to jerk off. And they're going to be the first people to get annihilated.
Guys, if you do want to join the real world, the link is in my chat and it's in my bio. Go and join the real world now. Also, Andrew, I do need to highlight an important super chat that came through. Amir's going to be enraged with us because we didn't use pepper on our food. Yeah, that is actually the top super chat. Yeah.
And he's right.
Yeah, maybe we should have got
people
pepper.
know that story?
No.
You need pepper to fuck girls, supposedly.
Bro, tell me the story about you need pepper.
I was eating food with Amir after a training session. I said, can you pass me the salt? And he passed me the salt and the pepper. And he said, and I put salt on my food. And he said, why don't you put pepper on your food? I said, I don't know. I don't think it needs pepper. And he said, how are you going to fuck all those girls without pepper? And I looked at him and I thought, you're right, sir. How am I? You're right. So I just put loads and loads of pepper on my food.
So now that's why there's pepper on everything now.
Bro, how else can you get it done?
Speaking of pepper, bro.
Because women want warlords. What did we just say earlier? Women want warlords. Women are cerebral enough and they're survivalists. Women will do anything to survive. Please understand the way that women have evolved. When a warring tribe came in and destroyed all the men of the tribe, they instantly adhered to the creeds of the new tribe. When the Nazis conquered France, all the French women were fucking the Nazis. They killed your husband, but whatever. They're in charge now. We don't care. They comply to power structures. So women are now survivalists, and they're sitting there going, okay, the world's fucked. I need a man who can go to war. I need a warlord with resource and finance who can take care of me. Of course he has other women. Of course I'm going to join a harem because all women want him. That's fine. I'd rather be part of his harem and have my bills paid and be protected in the oncoming onslaught of humanity than sit here with this dipshit who wants me to work 40 hours a week because he's funny and interesting and he has these stupid little jokes. I now have to sit here and work a bullshit job. And when the enslavement comes, I'm going to end up enslaved when I could have been Top G's girl and just fucking flown around on private jets with his other 35 wives.
Bro.
And that's what happens. So I need pepper.
Speaking of pepper, when we were fighting, right, we used to train. You introduced me to something called pepper soup, right? Nigerian pepper soup.
Power.
Bruv, what is in pepper soup?
Fuck knows, bro.
There's cow's foot, cow's brain. There's
to this day, I don't know the ingredients, but what I do know, if you eat pepper soup, it makes you stronger. So go to the nearest African restaurant and get pepper soup. Everybody should do that. It will make you stronger.
Honestly, I had, I think, 2 spoons of it and I started to sweat. And then I had to just start drinking the whole bowl. And it would genuinely cure the flu, I think.
Yeah. It would cure COVID if it was real. If COVID was real, then pepper soup would cure it.
Crazy.
The only real vaccine.
Crazy. So, what cars are next for you, bro? You've got everything now.
You know, I do have everything. You're right. We'll see. I'm going to wait for this Matrix attack to end. Because my enemies, I sit and I analyze my situation because that's what a professional does. And I sit and say, well, Would I rather be me or my enemies? And the answer is always me.
Yeah.
Why would I want to be one of these little hating liberal dorks on an anon account trying to hate on me? Why would I want to be some fucking government employee who gets paid fuck all trying to ruin my life? Sooner or later, this ends. Maybe in 5 years, maybe in 10 years. I get to be 45, billionaire, multiple wives, multiple children, private jet, big boat.
With your boys,
Beautiful cars,
chilling.
with my boys, in a mansion somewhere in Manila, living a very good life. So I'm not afraid of any of the things they're going to do to me, and I'm just enjoying this process and enjoying exploring the map. Everyone wants to explore the map at the highest levels. They want to get Bugattis and Lambos and meet supermodels and go to nightclubs and stay in mansions and fly on private jets. They want to explore the top end of the map, like GTA 6. They want to explore the nice part of town. I want to explore the bad part of town. I want to go to jail. I want to go to court. I want to hang around with the gangsters and the murderers and the killers. I want to explore the whole map so that when I'm on my deathbed, I can say I've seen the good, I've seen the bad, I've seen the ugly, I've seen the up and down, the light and dark, the right and left, the rain and the sunshine.
Yeah.
That's the best life you can possibly live. So my enemies have given me an opportunity to explore an area of the map I wouldn't normally get to explore, and I'm enjoying the adventure. I think it's very exciting. My life would not be as exciting without it, and I'm going to appreciate my life a lot more when this is over because there is no light without dark. So I'm very, very happy this is happening, and I'm enjoying the experience.
What I will say is a lot of people are scared to fucking explore. They think they're safe where they are. They think where they are is some sort of haven. And it's only until you get out of them places and see other things that you realize it's actually a shit show going on.
It's interesting that you say about safety because the people who have made all the safest choices in life are the ones who are going to get destroyed the hardest. We now live in a world where unless you're making the risky choice, your chance of survival is zero. If you take the safe choice, go to college, go to uni, get in debt, get a mortgage, get a career, work hard at your job, take all the safe choices that shouldn't go wrong because it's risky to start your own business. It's risky to not go to university. It's risky to join the real world and put all of your eggs in one basket and dedicate yourself. Fine, you take the safe choice, but the safe choice leads to absolute slavery.
Bro, how is joining the real world a risk to safety? It's $49.99 a month. People spend that a week on fucking coffee. Yeah. So how is it even a risk?
Because they have to dedicate themselves and people are lazy losers. But the thing that's so interesting is that the people who are choosing the safe option is actually choosing the most risky option. Taking the safe option nowadays is 99% going to end in your eternal slavery. So you're not taking a safe option. You're taking a coward's way out, and it leads to exactly where a coward's way should lead. Cowards in the end do not get to enjoy the shade of the olive tree because unless you fought in the arena, unless you've been a gladiator, you never get the peace of mind and peace of heart, which is afforded from bravery. So if you choose the safe choices in life, thinking, oh, I'm going to take the safe route, you don't end up anywhere safe. You end up in a position where your company can decimate your life unless you get an injection you don't want, a mortgage you can't pay, a wife who will leave you, and sitting there skinny fat, miserable, depressed, and jerking off. The safe option doesn't work anymore. You need to take risks. You need to try and start your own business. You need to go all in on things. You need to go wild. You need to be a man who's not afraid to stand up and think, fuck it, it's all on my back and I'm going to find a way to pull this off. Because any other way, any other option in the world today only leads to a bad scenario. Yeah. The safest thing you can do are the riskiest things. Yeah. That's the now scenario we're in. Every single gamble I've taken, which was seen as risky, all paid off for me because I dedicated myself completely. If I would have taken the safe choice and taken none of them, I'd be absolutely fucked right now, along with everybody else on a wagey job, which is going up 2% pay rise a year, while inflation's 20%.
But even now that you're a multimillionaire with everything that you want.
Billionaire.
Sorry.
It's all right.
No disrespect meant.
It's fine.
You're still relentlessly typing away on your laptop every day, trying to make the real world better, trying to, enhance.
Because I have purpose. Because it gets to a point where it's not just about money. My purpose now is I've gone past a threshold where I could have just lived a quiet, very rich life and not had purpose. I've now decided I want to fight the Matrix and be part of the cultural revolution which is taking place. I would actually argue I was the beginning of the Matrix cracking. My cancellation, if you actually look and time it, was the exact time people started to wake up. I have been 50% of this world mass awakening. I'll say that openly. I've martyred myself to do it, and it's worth it to me as long as enough people understand the truth of the world and how it works. So I'm not working for money anymore. I'm working for purpose. And the reason I work on the real world and the war room, etc., is so that the people who believe in me and want to be free can sit and say, yeah, Tate saved my life. Bro, that's why I do it. It's not about money.
I absolutely believe that, and I'll tell you why. I remember when you were at 50,000 followers, bro. I remember you were still saying the same stuff, putting out the same message, and nothing happened then, bro. Yep. Nothing happened then. Yep. It was only when you started to blow up on TikTok and everything else, and more and more men were coming around to the idea that all this shit started to happen.
The ability to speak freely is directly correlated with your insignificance. You're allowed to talk if nobody listens. If people start listening, you have to be very careful what you say. Now, if you're P. Diddy and you fuck people in the ass and you fuck underage kids and you do drugs and you do all this shit, that's fine as long as you comply with the system, comply with the matrix, understand who your owner is. He's obviously pissed one of them off because they're all doing it. And what happens is if you start to rebel a little bit or you get too big for your boots, then they teach you a lesson. Because every single person in the entertainment industry is owned. But if you're standalone like me and you refuse to bend or to bow or to go to these parties or to sign these sponsorship contracts or to sell your soul, then they're going to hit you with lawfare like they did. They don't want you to be big unless you're owned so they can tell you what to say. I'm not owned, so I can say whatever the fuck I want, which is why they're trying to ruin my life. And guess what? I don't give a fuck.
No.
Put me in jail.
No, and do you know what?
I'm a fucking tough guy.
Yeah, no, and do you know what? I completely agree because, you know, people are living in jail anyway, bro. Whether they're actually in jail or not, their life is a fucking jail.
100%. They're waking up, going to a job they hate, sitting in a commute, coming home, not being able to go on holiday. Their wife won't fucking suck them off. Their kids don't respect them. They can barely pay their bills. Their boss is a dickhead. It's getting worse year on year. They have no way out, no hope, no future, no purpose. Nobody respects them. They're not awakening anybody. They're not saving anybody. They're not feeding thousands of starving children like I am. I feed thousands of children today via TapePledge.com. If I had to go and do a little bit of jail so I can feed thousands of starving children and help millions more men escape the matrix and understand the truth of this world and make it harder for the Satanists to continue to purport their lies on society, that's worth some jail for me. I'm not a pussy. I'll go to fucking jail. I'm a fucking tough guy. Put me in fucking jail. I'll have a cigarette, and I'll have a coffee, and I'll do my fucking push-ups. I don't give a shit. I'm top G. Built different.
When are they going to come? So they've come for Diddy now, yeah?
Yeah.
When do you think they're going to come for the Epstein's fucking list? Because this has been ongoing a long time now. So, you know, the likes of Tom Hanks, etc.
Yeah.
When are they going to start coming after them dickheads?
I like to think, and this is probably a good way to end, but I feel like for a long time, there's been this cloud of darkness hanging over me and a lot of people. I think for like the last 6 months, if you speak to anybody who's perspicacious, they've been able to sit and say, yes, I feel a negativity in the air. Like the world is a lie. Like there's something big we haven't found out. Like there's something terrible going on. And I thought it was the Israel-Gaza war and the videos I've been seeing from there. And perhaps that's certainly part of it. But there's been this negativity in the air. And now I'm starting to think it's not negativity. It's a pressure change. Like when a thunderstorm is coming and you can smell it in the air and you can feel the change in pressure. I don't think it's negativity. I think that a thunderstorm is coming. The thunderstorm is truth and light. I feel like all lies are going to be exposed very quickly and shortly, and the people who everyone believed were good are going to be exposed as bad, and the people who are bad are going to be shown to be good. There's going to be a mass awakening of consciousness, and this thunderstorm is going to come in hard because the average person is tired of inflation, tired of being ignored by their leaders, tired of endless war, tired of crime, tired of judicial system which doesn't protect them. They're tired of everything, and this thunderstorm is going to be massive. And I feel like there's a pressure change in the atmosphere now, and I'm actually very excited for the global mass awakening, and I hope I live long enough to see it.
I think you will. I think you will. And do you know what, bro? I think that we're going to come out on the right side of history eventually but I think it'll be too late. I think it'll be too late, but I think we'll come out on the right side of history for especially what we're trying to promote. Like,
well, we'll have a legacy at least, and that's the point.
But you know what, bro? I'm going to keep fighting for you, G.
Thank you,
I
friend.
promise you, I'm going to keep fighting for you, G. No matter what happens, I don't care about being jail either. I don't give a fuck. They're going to come for everyone around us, and we don't care.
We'd have a great time in jail.
Bro, imagine us on the wing.
Uno champs.
Bro, Uno reverse.
Uno champs.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
Guys, it's been a great episode of 2 Pints with Rory. Andrew, you've been a great guest as always. Always good to see you. And let's go fucking do it. Let's go. Let's play some Uno, smoke some cigars. Guys, thanks for joining in. I'll see you on the next episode of 2 Pints with Rory. Take care. Have a good night.